Hello everyone. Today I will talk about and summarize the Ho Chi Minh's life and background. And Ho Chi Minh was born in Kim Liên village, Nghệ An province. Nghệ An is the center of Vietnam. And he was born in the 1890. His birth name là Nguyễn Sinh Cung, and later he took the name Nguyễn Ái Quốc, and then now are for the Ho Chi Minh. He is quite controversial a person, so in the when he sees the value the woman by Nguyễn Phan Châu Trinh and Phan Bội Châu, then he wanted to find a new way to liberate for Vietnamese people. Then in the 1911 he left in Vietnam. He had the journey went to the France, and before arriving in France he got a job at the boat and that is a cook on the French ship, and later living in France, that US, then UK and other countries. During his time in France, he became active socialist and communist circle, and founded the Association of Vietnamese Patriots. In 1920, he joined the French Communist Party, and he activated in there and a lot of years. And in the 1930, he helped establish Communist Party of Vietnam in Hong Kong. Yes. Then he returned to Vietnam in the 1941, and he, after decade abroad, led the struggle against colonial rule. And then he led in independent movement. He founded the Viet Minh, reached for independence of Vietnam in the 1941 by both Japanese occupation and French colonialism. On the September 2nd, 1945, after Japan's defeat in the World War II, Ho Chi Minh was declared of independence for Vietnamese people. And then he became the first president of the Timoric Republic of Vietnam. Left Vietnam during the First Indochina War in the 1946 and 1954 against the French. After the 1954 Geneva Accord, Geneva Treaty was signed by French people. Ho Chi Minh became the leader of the North Vietnamese, guided the North Vietnamese people through the early years Vietnamese war, and luckily he was passed away in September to 1969, and then in the 1975 with Vietnamese people. The North Vietnamese yes, the Viet Minh victory led to national reunification. Saigon will rename Ho Chi Minh City in his honor. What's the historic 1.2? What were historical background Vietnamese society when Ho Chi Minh was born? The Union considered by colony of Cochin China and for protection. Thailand, Annam, Tonkin, Cambodia, and Laos. Vietnam was totally controlled by colonial French ruling. The people reportedly had to pay many different taxes and is very heavy. In addition, they forced to build a public works extremely low walls. Then led to the economic. Then the French in the French colonial they had economic exploitation. The French extracted resource labor from Vietnam to benefit their own economy, led to hardship for the Vietnamese people, and taxation and heavy tax imposed Vietnam population to fund the French infrastructure project. Forced labor was used in the mine and on the plantation with the poor working conditions. Yes, do you think body of Ho Chi Minh moralism is real? Yes, I don't know. On the internet is various information, but I can't identify it truth or false. Yes. He gets married and have a children. Sorry, I can't answer your question because I don't know because on internet have a lot information about this, but I can according to the Vietnam government, he didn't. Yes, he worked great later for every Vietnamese people, and for the entire nation. Consider he did for the country that have family were not very important. However, at that time, the country is facing extreme difficult in its own aspect, and I guess they chose not have a family during periods. What's the meaning Ho Chi Minh? Yeah, I don't know exactly information because I think only Ho Chi Minh knows the meaning his name. Yes, but the Vietnam government explained that Ho Chi Minh meaning bring the enlightenment or help to the nation, because we in the French colonial we stopped in the independent Trojan process. Yeah, and I think that's a good mean. Can you take flower Ho Chi Minh Museum? Why? Yes, of course, but you have to you must pay attention to standard of the wall and wristband. Yes, And in addition, you have to, for domestic visitor, the English should be Vietnamese. Tôi nhớ Chủ tịch Hồ Chí Minh or the international visitor unless other requests standard messages are kính viếng Chủ tịch Hồ Chí Minh Vietnamese or homage to President Ho Chi Minh English. Yes. Total stone symbol, total and stone. And today I will relate to the first university in Vietnam. Yes, university in Vietnam that is called literature of a temple of literature. That is our first university in Vietnam. Is was built in the Lý Thái Tổ, overviewing the Lin dynasty, and who was Lý Nhân Tông. Yes, at this time, Lý dynasty it was built dynasty because that is longest dynasty than the before dynasty. Yes, before dynasty was available about very short, and so they have to they have to stable, just I have to stable the nation. They can have the idea about training for students. The total and stone still symbolic number. Just the stone stars was amount on cup stone total, symbolizing the longevity, wisdom, and stability. Among Vietnamese force the secret creature. As a result, the name of the largest and highest ranking scholar imperial examination was increased stone stealers mount on the back of turtle. Because name first lay earlier 2,530 doctors of literature from Royal Islam, and the first stellar was built into 15th century under Imperial Little Dome, and total stellar 100 originally and 82 remain today as Vanille. In the 21, the stellar engraved part of UNESCO's memory, the World Program. And Chuvanan was born in the 13th century. Diet and quality of Chola, who the first one who founded the previous school and later became principal at Kotuzam, teaching princes including future impro. Then he still and why Vietnamese worship Confucius. Just although he was Chinese. Yes, Confucius would have a ideology and social order government, and the Imperial Vietnamese see that the minded, the Confucianism minded is good, good with the Vietnamese people, and the government can easy control people according the format, thus, and everyone will do according the format. Then the government or more of monarchy will easily control everyone. And Vietnamese cousin worship flavor. Vietnamese cuisine stand out global in freshness and balance of flavor, Western and herb and aromatic, and based on the fundamental difference between Vietnamese and Western culinary culture are quite striking. Emphasis on freshness and richness. Vietnamese cook have a priority fresh, seasonal ingredients and animal cooking time to preserve the natural flavor and nutrient. Dishes generally lie in the less oily and contrast the Western cuisine party usually often employ richer flour derived from the butter, cream, and cheese, or longer cooking method and like roasting and printing and frying. Balanced flours and dominant flours. Vietnam dish celebrate for their intricate balance and muted flavor in a single bite, where no single taste overpower another. That created a complex layered experience, and Western dishes, while flavorful, often feature one or two dominant flavors that define the dish. Then a lot of different things. A type of Vietnamese family meal. Common dish you describe include steamed white rice. That is simple. It forms part of the almost of every meal. Each person will have their own bowl of rice. Savory dish that is usually involves meat or fish cooked in the savory sauce. Popular choice include prices pork belly and eggs. Pork belly braised in coconut water and caramel sauce with the hard-boiled eggs. Pulled chicken, often served with the dipping sauce or salt, pepper, and lamb. And dipping sauce. This is also a Vietnamese cuisine. The most common distilled fish sauces in mix or fish sauce, water, sugar, lamb juice, and chili. And if you and I can recommend you a lot of dish when you come in Hanoi. Beef noodle soup or phở bò, bún chả, or Rover. Find me at coffee. Yes, you can call me